Welcome and thank you for joining us for another episode of Rams TV brought to you by Desjardins Security. My name is Carlin Hariff. I'm your new Rams TV host and you're watching me for the first time on the new Rams website, www.reginarams.com. I will be speaking today with punter-kicker Chris Bodnar, quarterback Zach Oleynik, and stay tuned for a segment with head coach Frank McCrystal. I'm here with kicker-punter for the University of Regina Rams, Chris Bodnar. Chris, coming off a big win in Alberta, how do you feel about your team's performance and your performance this past weekend?
Obviously good to get our first win of the season. Kind of a mucky off our back and the coaches' backs, and yeah, we're 1-3, and there's a slew of teams at 2-1, so we're just going to try and work our way back into the mix.
So you kicked a 33-yard field goal last week. Is there anything in particular you've been working on over the season to make sure you're hitting the big ones that count?
We have been working and spending more time with field goals with my long snapper Jorgen and holder Jay Smith, so we make time every day.
And in the locker room after coming off a win like that, how has everybody's moods been this week?
It's been a lot better. I mean, the bus ride, even though it was 7 painful hours, was a lot better. So, yeah, we're just going to continue chipping away every day, and everybody's happier after a win, and we're gonna keep going and see what we can do.
You were also really busy in the punting game last weekend, 10 kicks, an average of 46 yards. How important is your punting game to your team's performance?
For me, it's about gaining some of that field position back and making a long field for the defense. And I got a great long snapper in Jorgen, so he makes my life easier. So I'm just trying to help out the team and give them a long field and just give them an opportunity.
Well, good luck this weekend with the Bisons in town, and hopefully you can get a chance to hit that big one. Thank you. I'm here with Zach Oleynik, quarterback now for the University of Regina Rams. Zach, congratulations on your big win.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about you being from Yorkton, playing quarterback in high school, but you came to the Rams as a slot back.
When I came to the CIS level, my role kind of changed to what Bernie and Frank thought best would be a receiver, and played good there last year, and I enjoyed it a lot. But when injuries started happening this year, they just threw me in the role, and I was happy to accept it.
Were you surprised or shocked to get the start last weekend?
A little bit, but at the same time, I was preparing all week like I was going to start, and I'm a competitive guy, so I was just ready to get in there, and I wanted to get the first W for the team.
How did it feel to throw that first touchdown pass?
Felt really good, yeah. Just get out of the way, and we got an excellent receiver core here, so. And I got to play with the guys at receiver last year, so I know their strengths and their weaknesses, and mainly all the starters out there, you just got to get a one-on-one coverage, throw the ball up, and they're going to make a play for me.
Is there anybody on your team that you've turned to for a bit of guidance or support?
Well, of course, Mark Mueller. I mean, he's the best quarterback in the country, so he's a guy that I look up to, and he's so smart. So just to follow in his footsteps is a hard thing to do, but you just got to look at it one day at a time and just try and just take what I can from him, because he's such a smart quarterback. He's been here for 5 years. So
14 of 23, over 250 yards last weekend, 4 touchdowns.
It was a good game right from the start. You know, we had a good game plan, and Bernie just set things really simple for me. Everything kind of slowed down, and things just touchdown passes. They just kept coming. The guys just kept making plays. You know, Janata, Owens, McConkey, those guys just kept catching the balls. I was just throwing them up there, and they were just doing the job, and as goes the interception, well, that was just a bad play on my part.
So how do you prepare this week? You have Manitoba coming into Regina on Friday. What do you do different? What do you do the same?
As goes for Manitoba, they have a completely different defense, so we got to just put in the same amount of time we did for Alberta. We got to watch a lot of film and just stay focused. We just got to take it one day at a time from now on out and just keep putting in time.
That's great. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck for the rest of the season.
You betcha. Thank you.
Joining me now is head coach Frank McCrystal. Frank, congratulations on the big win in Alberta last week. How do you feel with the guys? How's their approach looking this week?
Yeah, thank you very much for the win. It was a long time coming, and we worked really hard. And when we ended up with the quarterback situation that we had, with guys getting injured and so forth, it really set us back in terms of our preparation offensively. So, when we were able to get Zach back, coming off an injury and start him, it was really a plus, a big thing for us, and it gives us an opportunity to move forward. Now, this week is a little different because the team is going to be prepared. You know, the team that we're playing will have seen Zach Oleynik. The team that we're playing would have seen some of the other guys that we've thrown in. So they'll be a little better prepared than Alberta was because they're going to have film on that. So, you know, I think what we have to do is hone some of the things that we've done in Alberta. We need to make sure that we get better at that. We were able to cut down on penalties, and certainly we were able to move the ball a little better and a little more consistently, both in the air and on the ground. So, you know, we just have to keep working at getting better.
What does Zach bring to your offense as a guy with a little bit more experience, not necessarily as a quarterback, but as somebody who's been in the system for a year now?
Well, yeah, and that's right, because he has been in the system, so he does know what our offense is, and that's a bonus. The other thing is he's absolutely a very, very bright guy. You know, he's a very smart character, and so that's a bonus. And then the other thing that physically you have to be able to compete is that you have to be able to see. And so, you know, as a 6'4" guy, he's able to see over our offensive line and see downfield, and that really served him well a few times in the Alberta game. You know, particularly on the one touchdown pass to Janata, I think. You know, where he stood there, and was able to find him in the end zone, or you know, about halfway into the end zone, and get the ball over to him.
You hate to focus on the negative things that happen throughout the course of a season. What have you said to some of your other guys, some of your veterans or your leaders, to help get them motivated and step up maybe where you're lacking in other positions?
Well, that's right. I mean, we talk to them all the time, and it's really, I think it's important to build on what you're doing well and what you're doing right. But when we have the stars like a Chris Bodnar with punting, when we have the stars like an Adrian Charles, those guys have to make plays, and those guys have to come forward and do great things if you're going to be successful. And it doesn't matter whether you have a quarterback or you've got lost guys to injuries or not. They have to step up, and Chris did that last week in Alberta, where he had a 46-yard average. Absolutely outstanding punts, you know, inside the 20 a number of times. Also, little Adrian Charles comes and rushes for 165 yards or something like that, so that was pretty amazing. And defensively, I think that we played relatively sound. We certainly made some errors, but Jameer Walker, first-team All-Canadian last year, came up with 2 interceptions, and so big. Your best players have to make big plays, and that's kind of the thing that we're trying to accentuate with them right now.
You have Manitoba coming into town on Friday, and then you're into the bye week. So how do you prepare for the rest of the season, knowing you do still have a chance of making the playoffs this year?
Yeah, we do. And you know, it's an 8-game schedule, so the 8-game schedule is really tight, and you can't throw away games. And you know, we kind of got a little bit behind the 8 ball here when we lost to UBC off the bat. But it's a tough league. It's a competitive league, and you have to at least look after your part of it. And you can't hope and try to plan what team's going to be what other team. You have to go out and play for yourself and make sure that you give yourself some control over the outcome of the season. And so, you know, we got to go in and play. It's a very difficult game. It's a very difficult opponent that we're playing. They're big, they're athletic, and they're very aggressive. And so we do have them at home, which is, you know, I suppose can play as a bit of an advantage for us. But, you know, we have to be prepared. And then when we go into the bye week, which all the teams have the same bye over Thanksgiving, so you're hopeful that you're able to heal up and come back healthy, and then we're off to BC after that for a big game.
Well, best of luck from here on out, and I will talk to you again soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks again for watching Rams TV, brought to you by Desjardins Securities. I'm Carlin Harroff, and I hope to see you this Friday, September 30th, as your Regina Rams take on the Manitoba Bisons at Mosaic Stadium.